Hello and welcome one and all. We're Upper Sandbox TTRPG.
What's up?
Hey guys.
I'm Josh McGee. I'm, I guess, the captain of this ship. These are my first mates, and not in a sexual way.
Matey. The easiest word to say in a pirate accent is scorpions. You just go, scorpions.
Scorpions.
The port bow, scorpions.
Why scorpions?
Scorpions.
I don't know, dude. It just is. Just try it. Try it.
Scorpions. Yeah, no, I want
No. No, you replace the
scorpions. Yeah, no,
There
it
you go.
doesn't feel right.
Scorpions. Scorpions in the pirate accent is the easiest thing to say.
No, it doesn't feel right.
You're
feels like Jell-O
you're
in
just
my
being
mouth.
You're just being a hater, dude. Honestly.
Feels like Jell-O in my mouth. It feels like word Jell-O.
You're just being a hater.
Scorpion. Yeah, no, it just feels like word Jell-O every time I try.
Word Jello. I haven't the pleasure of word Jello.
I just feel like my mouth isn't working right.
Makes sense. I don't have any sound
Oh,
effects prepped,
whoa.
but I guess that's part of the workflow, you know? So, today I'm working on last year's Star Wars campaign as far as editing it and getting it into a more digestible format. Jacob, what are you working on?
Making shit.
Jacob's
what?
making shit. I think we're all making shit.
No, I am trying right now to make the intro for the one shot we did that was
Ah, nice. Yeah,
based on the wrong day.
Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, the Groundhog's Day one shot that was done on Sunday instead of Groundhog's Day.
Look, man, we're just consistently playing every Sunday. That's the thought process.
And
We'll
actually,
be
maybe.
professionals one day. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And then I'm going to finally make our finally make our store badge down at the bottom,
Ooh, yeah.
our banner. That thing that you've been asking me to make for like 4 or 5 weeks now that I haven't made.
You did a wonderful job creating the store and getting it launched. Advertising it? Eh.
Hey, okay. Now to be fair, let's be fair here.
Okay.
I did put a video in our intermission.
You did. No, that's
about
very
it.
good,
And
yeah.
how many times have we used the intermission video?
Ooh.
2 times.
Yeah, 2 times.
2 times.
So it's both of your faults, is what I'm saying.
Hell yeah. And what did you do, Alex?
Jack shit.
Do we need any maps? I'm sure that we could use some maps somewhere. And typically I use Google Maps for it,
Oh
but
boy.
We're
here
Waze has been, leading me the wrong way, so.
We're here for, shit talking and dad jokes in that order. He said, "See you later." I don't need a map for this week, and you already prepped some maps. I need to see what direction our lovely party takes after this next section. I'll need a map most likely, but what style of map, we'll see.
I mean, there's really no telling with us which way we're gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
We just consistently do stupid shit, so.
Well,
Whatever, Alex. I know exactly where you're going with that. Whatever.
I do not. No context clues for me.
it's
He knows
implying
what
that
he's doing.
Jacob's the only one that was doing stupid shit.
Oh, I
He
see.
knows what he's doing.
I'm just an outsider looking in.
Here we go.
All right, I'm actually.
Yeah. I'm excited for our next
I don't think-
Star Wars mini campaign though.
What month are we doing that?
March.
March.
That's what I'm working on right now.
Oh, yeah.
Unless Alex here wants to change it since Jedi Survivor got moved.
I mean, that was the plan, is to do it for Jedi Survivor. It was like Star Wars month, you know what I mean? But, I mean, hey, doesn't matter really to me as long as it's around. So it's not like it moved super far away. It just moved a month back. So still being in March, especially if it's a 4-episode thing, it's gonna take the whole month pretty much. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I look so different in this one shot.
Oof.
Mini campaign, rather.
Right. That's what I'm trying to make it again. At least 4 episodes. Really get some juicy stuff out of it. Which I had started writing. I was writing like the intro, right? Like
Right.
trying to catch you guys up at where everything's kind of been
Mm-hmm.
before you guys actually start playing. But I also don't know what characters you're playing, so I don't know how to shoehorn. I can't like shoehorn you in yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you know who I'm playing.
Yeah. I mean, like I meant James and Josh here. I don't know who they're playing, so.
I'm not fully. I want to know what James is doing. I want to see what they choose to do before I want to fill the void. You know, I'm kind of leaning towards like pretty much a tech caster, low hit die, a lot of versatility.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the word.
Just going for that versatility. How loud is this gonna be?
Is James in the chat?
Uh,
Maybe they have some
unless they're in. No.
insight as to what they're playing. I remember they said they were looking for the like astromech droid stuff, so maybe they're
Oh,
playing
nice.
a droid.
That'd be neat. How do I know what? I guess I can just adjust the volume over here.
Yeah, I thought I'd do something crazy and play a Anzellan, you know?
I have no idea what that means. I'll look it up right now.
That's Faldu's race.
Oh yeah, no, I see. I'm catching on now.
The disappointment.
I'm like trying to do one thing but pay attention to the conversation. Jacob and I have had this talk before. We're like, yeah, we're here, like, you know, supporting each other, but this conversation thing, while trying to be busy, is kind of rough.
Yeah, you know, that's why you need your Pepto Brosmol.
Oh yeah.
Cleans out your ears. Fixes the mind.
I think you're using it wrong.
Mostly.
Oh man. Where is this file I'm looking for? I have a text version of our logo somewhere
Oh yeah.
hidden deep in the depths of my computer.
Is there an icebreaker you got?
And I can't find it. Saved my freaking life.
Yeah, it took like several hours and tried organizing video files and sound files and different assets we use. It's a lot.
Yeah, we did. There is a.
I
No,
just want this to you know, do the thing that it needs to do.
There is an icebreaker.
So
We can get into some of those questions I prompted you with earlier. If you want to talk about
You know
some
what?
characters.
Yeah, sure. Why don't we do that?
Our loose topic is party foils. What are the differences that make up our party? For the most part, we're reaching for the same goals, but with different methods and different philosophies.
Are we?
I think so.
For reaching for the same goal, but I think our interests align.
There you go. That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put
It's
it.
not like all of us want to do the same thing,
That's true.
but all of the things each of us want to accomplish will probably help each and everybody get to their own
All right.
finish line.
Yeah.
Their own finish line. That was poetic.
Yeah, I'm not we talked about this a little bit after a Thursday stream a couple weeks ago, that I think that like for me, I know what Josiah's goals are, but I don't think Josiah really knows his goals anymore.
Nice.
So I'm not quite
Is
sure.
he like shaken up from? Well, I guess the with a world without Victor, right? Is
Yeah, I
is-
mean, like he did what
much-
he was trying to do for the most part. I mean, like
I had the
there's still some stuff
fever
that he would like to do that or at least that he wanted to do, but I don't think he's sure that he still wants the same things. You know what I mean? Like now that Victor's out of there and he got his revenge. Like, it's kind of like the classic, like, you get your revenge, but you don't really feel good about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I feel like that's very much where he's at. Right now.
It doesn't satisfy you.
Yeah. I mean, he even, like, very, very luckily as well, even got, like, the killing blow on him, and I think that he's just not satisfied with what happened, like, the way it ended. But he doesn't know what to do with it because now it's over, you know? What was he gonna do, have Zanag raise him back up and kill him again?
It's not really over. What's his name?
Vishram.
That guy. Vishram, yeah. Vishram is essentially Victor 2 Electric Boogaloo. So...
It is true.
There is still obstacles standing in your way. It's not like everything was vanquished in that moment.
It is true. I'm just not... I think that's where I'm struggling with the character. And me and Josh have kind of talked a little bit about, like, how much longer
If it's just
Josiah sticks around. Like, does he go into another season after this? Does he end on this season? Like, I mean, unless he dies, obviously, then he's gone. But I don't know if Josiah really, like he... It's been very clear up till now, like, if you've been paying attention to the podcast and the streams, like, Josiah's goal is to, like, free Edifos specifically of its current ruling class and set up a new ruling class, either of himself and some others or just another group of people, you know?
I mean, to me that sounds pretty nefarious, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not... I mean, I can't say it's not lawful evil, but I also can't say it is lawful evil, you know what I mean?
It's lawful
I think
evil.
that's down...
You might have good intentions, but
yeah.
someone could look at that as being like, oh, this is just you're building another world for yourself.
Exactly, and I think that now that Victor's gone and he got that, like, that revenge, you know what I mean? I don't know if he still wants that goal. Like, maybe that goal for him was kind of like the excuse to just kill Victor. You know what I mean?
Right, justifying
Yeah.
The want for murder.
Exactly. Because, like, there is very much some other goals of Josiah's that are going to come out throughout this journey that, I mean, I've shared with I know Josh for sure, and I think you as well, Alex. But there's some other, like, not goals, but, like, feelings that Josiah's always wanted. You know, like things that he's wanted out of life that he didn't get up till now that are going to come up. But I don't know. I'm curious to see if his once he gets his goals firm in his mind, if they actually line up with the rest of the party or not. You know?
All I know is I think Josiah's around for a little bit longer. I think we've barely scratched the surface of the repercussions of killing Victor and what exactly trying to achieve your goals, let alone completing them, will do to the world. So I think your time as Josiah is not as short as you think it is.
Yeah, and I think that's where, like, I have as a player an idea. I know where I want to take him as a player, but I think that's where it kind of comes into, like, the party dynamic, and as well as, like, how much do you meta your character? You know what I mean? Like, do you let your character breathe in the world and change as you play, or do you have your hard fast goals and this is what I want my character to do?
I think there should definitely be some seep in there. Because if they're just living and breathing in the world, then the character player is not needed, you know?
I mean, yes and no. I don't know. I feel like it's like method acting, you know what I mean? Like,
okay. Yeah, I see.
You know what I mean?
I see your side for
Speaking of which, I've sent a hog head to each of your houses.
By the way, I killed a dude and his parts are coming to each one of your houses now.
Yeah, all for the stream. Method acting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I think that some people will be surprised by, like, what I feel Josiah really wants at the end of the day, and I think other people will be not surprised at all, you know. And then in the game world, I think that Josiah and Zanag are going to butt heads for a little bit longer, and then I honestly feel like they're going to align a little bit more.
Nice.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think you're right on the money.
Yeah. We gotta get past some friction.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be.
I feel like we're heading for a Captain America Civil War moment. I feel like
It feels like
what
that,
I
though,
feel.
right?
That's probably not immediate future, but probably in season 2. I can definitely see that.
We are in season 2.
I know, but the ender part, the later part.
Yeah, the meat and potatoes part of season 2, not the intro stuff. Yeah.
But it feels like that though, right? Like it feels like there's a little bit of like there's the butting heads because I feel like Josiah has like an understanding of what Zanog wants, but doesn't know how to like help him get there, and it frustrates the hell out of him. And then also not knowing what.
Okay, no, hang on. Let's pause there. Explain that to me.
I think that Josiah thinks, as the player and taking out what me and you have talked about, about your character or what we've as a group talked about outside of character. I think the way Josiah views it is that he's got this guy who is a powerful wizard who wants to become more powerful than the wizard he just now found out exists. You know what I mean? Like he just found out that there's someone who's way more powerful than him, right? And then this wizard.
I mean, questionably, there are other powerful wizards in the world, right? That's not exactly.
Yeah, but I mean specifically in the field of necromancy. In our world, there's not a lot of other necromancers that we know of.
Right.
Right now, there's you and Ogratis. And that's what Josiah knows about as well. Josiah knows nothing about magic. The extent of knowing about magic that he's had is that like wizards have thrown fireballs at him. He's fought constructs, and he had a talking rock for a while. You know what I mean? An emotional support rock that talked back to him.
A pet rock. Well, but it was vice versa in Josiah's eyes.
Yeah, it was very much vice versa. He was the pet halfling for the rock. But I mean, he sees all that, and he doesn't get it. Like he doesn't understand magic, so he doesn't know how to help Zanog become this powerful wizard, because Zanog has very much now helped him kill Victor. You know what I mean? Like Zanog has helped him with his goal, and even Idris has helped him with his goal, and he can figure out how to help Idris. Like, okay, let's get to your Terry, let's talk to your people, let's figure out how we can intermingle. Maybe there's some nefarious shit going in there that's a little bit sketchy, but we can work together. Like we can get a working relationship. The most Josiah can do is lead you into Edifos. Hopefully we take over Edifos and just let you loose in the library of Arcana. You know what I mean? So I think that Josiah is frustrated right now he doesn't know how to help. Because he's always been a helper. He's been a soldier his whole life.
Right. I think this may not be your thoughts as Jacob, but Josiah's thoughts are surface level at this point. They're like, Zanog just wants to be good, like good as hell. You know what I mean? He just wants to be the top of the class.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, his goals are similar to yours. Is like, Zanog just wants power, right? You want to take control of a city state and run that shit, and build a whole new world. You said it yourself. Establish a new ruling class, right? Like that's the same shit that Zanog essentially wants, but he doesn't want to take over a city state, right? He wants to be the top dog of necromancy, and he wants to study that shit forever.
Okay, Aladdin.
No, and as a player, like I definitely recognize that. I think that like I really do try to like I know method acting can be toxic, right? But I feel like if you do it relatively like under the understanding of like you're in your character, and you need to not be an asshole to everyone around you, like have that be the line of like I'm not gonna be a dick towards you. You know what I mean? And don't let your character get to that part. And if you're about to like, just be like, hey, we're gonna get a little harsh here. You know what I mean? Like maybe like set it up so you're not gonna get hurt feelers. Anyway, I feel like Josiah as a character hasn't fully understood that there's more depths to Zanog other than wanting to be the best at. Because every time he's heard like Ogratis come up or heard Zanog talk about power, it's like researching to get to be the best. So very surface level right now of like Josiah just got done dealing with all this stuff, and then comes to find out, for the last 6 weeks we've been going in circles in the mountains because Brigham only has one eye and doesn't know how to make a left turn somewhere. You know what I mean? So he's very much like in the moment 99% of the time, and he hasn't crossed that like get past the surface level of like survivor mode. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's got his stuff that he wants. Maybe, you know, world's kind of changing for him, but he hasn't gotten past that with everyone else. Like he doesn't understand Idris at all, and he feels like he's kind of understanding Zanog. But I feel like that's where the coming to like a boiling point's gonna happen. Is like, as the player, I'm gonna keep playing Josiah in the action of like he's trying to help Zanog. He's trying to push Zanog to be better. He's trying to push Idris to their goals. He's trying to get all these things done, and there's going to come a point where either one of you guys in the party or the DM or whoever is going to set up a moment that Josiah is going to get broken, you know,
Right.
just like in like Civil War. However long that takes, it is what it takes. But that's what I feel is kind of happening with Josiah right now, and why I'm like, I don't know how the goals line up in our party anymore. You know what I mean?
I also, as Zanog, I also think, like Josiah, there's an angle to Josiah of which you're trying to use this as tools, maybe not maliciously, but like it's still
Yeah.
there, right? Like you're still trying to get Idris and their Terry on your side. You firsthand account witness the snowball that is necromancy in a large scale battle. So you're like, oh, this will work. Like I don't need a whole army. We can just make one.
No,
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, so
That's
I don't know.
100%.
That's
Well,
the
I
kind of
mean-
shit I'm like. That's where it's brewing to me. It's like it's all
Yeah.
underlying, I guess goals. But like I said, it's I guess it would be all about intent at that point. Like,
Well, I think
how
that
far are you willing to go?
I mean, because I'm trying not to give too much away, since we're on like a show where we do have some regular listeners who do tune into our VODs afterwards and stuff. I don't think you're too far off the money. You know what I mean? Like I think that you're pretty close to how Josiah feels. And I think that what's hard for him is that like he's always been a general, or not general, but a leader in an army in some form. You know, for at least like he's 165 for at least the last roughly 50 years of his life. He's been leading people in some capacity and having to like make those decisions of like, okay, this group of people are going to die. I have to resign this group to go scout out over here, and they're probably going to die. You know what I mean? And make those decisions. I think that there's that not entire understanding that like people are people yet. You know what I mean? Like he's either worked alone or he's worked over people.
Right.
But he hasn't worked in a party setting.
Especially being
Since
part of the
he's
military and
footing.
being part of the military and being part of like a bastard unit, like people are expendable, is so heavily ingrained.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm really excited for when that moment comes up, though. If it's 5 episodes from now, if it's 1 episode from now, whenever it is, I'm real excited for that moment comes up, and Josiah's just like, "Oh, what do you mean you're not a tool?" You know what I mean? Well, what do you mean this isn't what you want? I'm giving you what you want. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited. Really, really excited though. I wish that James was here to talk Idris's part of all this, because I'm really excited to see specifically Zanog in Idris's Terry.
I mean, Zanog's the less shackles, the better
Mm-hmm.
in Zanog's eyes, right? Like, this is somebody who is wronged by the state and like sees fit to just get rid of all of it after that, you know.
No, 100%.
Peeled back onion, the god of bits.
There he is. Nobody will overtake me.
I do have to. Okay, I do have to do a quick shout out for our God of Bits.
Yeah.
As many of you know, our heavenly Lord of Bits here is also my biological father, my real world father, not just my heavenly father. And yesterday was my parents' 31st anniversary,
Whoa.
marriage anniversary. So
Excellent.
yeah, been together for 31 freaking years.
Well done, Ivies. Well done.
Yeah. So just gotta give them a little shout out, you know. Don't get to brag on family too much, you know. We try to keep things,
And it's gone.
try
And it's gone.
we try to keep things rather chill here, you know.
I have something nice to say.
my-
I have one nice thing to say.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
Look, you gotta say one nice thing, and then you gotta bring it back with the slap, you know.
Yeah.
That's how you get the bits.
The carrot and the stick. That's the.
It's all right. I'll send a text later.
Yeah. Formal handwritten apology.
I'm sorry for the things I said on stream. I was in the
No,
moment,
it's gonna-
guys.
it's gonna-
No tap apology.
It's got to start off, dear Heavenly Father and Earthly Father.
And earthly father.
dear biologically heavenly father. They always used to tell me in high school that I looked like Jesus, but we all know that I did not act like Jesus.
Do we all know that?
I feel like it.
At least you know.
I feel like
Yeah,
our group,
now we
our
do.
group relatively.
Nice.
Oh man. Anyway, before I put my foot in my own mouth and break some more teeth,
Before it's worse.
yeah, before I break more teeth here, I think another one of your questions here
That's what I've actually been doing.
was if we had an all expense paid 10-day vacation,
Yeah.
which Vimros city state would we go to?
Zanog.
I had to think long and hard about this
Interesting. I'm glad I
because
sent it
one,
beforehand then.
I haven't read any of the lore of the fucking thing, so I don't know.
Well, I was gonna. I'm open to. I can answer questions too. Could be a
But
discussion.
truthfully, to go along with what I was saying, like, I think Zanog's an Outlander kind of guy at heart.
You're going right to the center.
Leave him alone. You know what I mean?
Leave him
Leave him alone. He's gonna go out there and do what he needs to do under no thumb or oppression of anybody's eyes or rules, and live his life.
All
He would have
expenses,
voted for Victor.
all expenses paid. Build me a library and bring me the books.
Because he still has his citizenship, right? So he can always meander into those city states if he needs to. But
Right.
I think at the end of the day, like, he's an Outlander guy.
Mhm.
Well, if I remember our lore, right, his citizenship would get revoked if he was out for too long. Like he would have
Right, he'd have to.
in
You
regular.
go.
1 year.
It's called going to the grocery store, Jacob.
Yeah. Check in with the gate captain, guard captain. Hey man, not dead.
Yeah, just
Still
checking
alive.
in. I'm here to get some supplies, maybe some books.
Pay some taxes.
Maybe.
Where's my notes for the session?
I feel like Zanog's 100% a doesn't pay his taxes kind of guy.
I mean,
I mean, he's like a come and take it kind of motherfucker. They're gonna have to bust down his door and take the taxes.
whoa, that's the wrong notebook.
Whoa!
Whoa!
That was from our campaign that had the four factions. Just looking at stuff about that wheelchair lady, Eunice.
Oh yeah.
Where's my regular notebook? What is going on?
So I feel really good about this joke that I made earlier.
Whoa,
Oh.
you didn't answer the question.
Oh, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get-
Okay.
I just got a notification on my phone that
Okay.
someone liked this thing, and it just reminded me. I felt really good about this joke. Someone that I follow on Twitter recently in their game I can't remember if they play D&D or Pathfinder, but in their game, they recently got a +2 short sword that can magically stretch out 5 feet to give them 5 feet of reach.
Uh-huh.
And they were looking for a name for it, and I submitted Reach Richards.
Oh, okay.
Reach Richards.
Like Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Yeah.
And I really, really like it. Like it's one of my favorite jokes. And every time I get a notification that someone liked it, I just like, yes. Reach Richards is reaching his audience. Oh man. I think that if me personally was in Vimros, and
okay.
it was all paid for and everything, I think that I would go check out Xylea.
Nice.
That's where I want to go check out. Go hang out in the woods.
What about Josiah? Where's all
Bad
my
advice.
notes? Oh, it's just... What are you doing on your?
That's one of those never leave his hometown type of motherfuckers.
What are you doing on your all expense paid vacation and at home?
At home, hanging out, not working.
Not working, making
and
making Rosalind work for you.
exactly.
That's so
No,
funny.
I feel like even if he got an all expenses paid, he'd still work. Josiah definitely doesn't know how to relax.
Grumpy old retiree.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's the sit outside of the tavern guard,
Yeah.
tavern guard. You know what I mean? Like sit there in a chair and just hang out.
Yeah, the working retirees. This is nuts. I can't find any of my notes. I know I didn't do them digital this time because I never do them digital.
Are you sure?
I think that's probably the problem now.
Yeah, that probably is the problem. I do like
No, I
digital.
get it.
Like I type up my scripts and stuff. Anytime I need to read a script or follow a guideline, I do that digital. But then I just delete it because it's a one and done type thing. Okay, here's some stuff,
I feel that.
but not the most recent stuff. Well, I guess we're talking about personal. I think I would be interested most to see. I mean, you guys don't know the city states that well yet, but Falmoda or Valmoda. I don't even know what they're called. Valmoda. Just because of an event that I know is going to happen there. There's going to be like fashion's a big thing there, and these fashion companies they have their own these bands or musical artists that represent them, and once a year there's the big show where they have to put out their music out there and try to get people to buy their product via a battle of the band situation, and I just want to experience that.
Are you telling me that we might get a in-game representation of a certain band of ours?
We can. I'm not opposed. I need to ask permission.
Introduce Ficus sells 0 things.
Why are my notes like this?
You walk past the tavern, you can hear the tavern keep kicking a band out.
All you hear is horn honks
a rubber chicken.
and farts.
You see,
It sounds like there's a small dog barking in there for some reason.
there's a half elf whipping a lute.
And you're like, what kind of performance art shit is this?
It's beyond your understanding. But you're sure I guess this is art.
I guess this is art. Oh, that feels right.
Oh, there's Link's 6 messages that he told me about over stream. Oh, nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is that Kool-Aid?
Is that the Kool-Aid Man?
Oh yeah.
The Kool-Aid Man?
All right, let's see. What was that other? What's the next question here? To get you guys
What is
to get you guys arguing again.
We weren't arguing.
Yeah, I don't think we were arguing at all.
Okay, yeah, it's a good one. I like it. Each of you have a reason, whether you were ordered to or whatever. You each have your own reason that you need to take over a small town. What are your methods?
Like in real life?
No, as your characters. We're talking about. We're D&D here.
Yes, in real life.
In real life, Jacob. How do you take down the government? We are recording this and live streaming it. What are you doing? No, characters. That's what I meant. What is this?
Sorry, I would love to answer your question in just a second, but
All right, that's
my
fine.
computer decided that it wanted to stop working.
Okay.
So
You use a healing potion on your computer, and Zanog can answer. As the inventor of Zanog. I think it's pretty straightforward, but...
It's pretty straightforward. He would absolutely 100% just steamroll the ever-living shit out of any resistance. Especially in the world where necromancy's not really a thing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
People watching their comrades die and then come back and kill them is probably very powerful. So it'd be through fear and intimidation.
Nice.
A lot of violence, if so warranted.
Not necessarily in that order.
Right.
I think that for Josiah, I think that looking at it tactically, he might first set up traps around, because I don't know why he didn't have his people set up traps then, because he would do this actually. But he would set up traps at one end of the town, assuming that there is a small town. It probably has only one in and out, like how our town does. So set up in one end, and then on the other end, forcing a choke point, he would just slowly choke off supplies until eventually they have to come to him for supplies, in which he would barter for the town.
Nice.
So it's a little bit playing the long game.
This has also happened in another campaign of ours where all you have to do is do a really good deed for the town, become well liked enough to where you can then
Flip it on.
blackmail the mayor, and then just take over.
So in real life, I have actually put some thought into this.
Okay.
In real life, if I had to take over a town, and it wasn't like
down.
it wasn't like modern times, right? 100%.
Oh, I found my
Age some documents, like write down some religious documents and age them in some tea, right? Like you did in middle school, and bury them on the edge of the town, right? But then make sure you make a big show of digging them up, so everyone sees you digging them up, right? Become the religious leader. Essentially, turn the town into your cult. After like a generation or two, if you're still around, that town is 100% yours.
So then you failed.
No, you took it over.
After a generation or two, you win.
If you're a generation or two, you're not around. So you yourself did not take over the town.
So we currently have about 4 generations to 5 generations, depending on if you count some of the World War II veterans still.
I'm just saying, you said if you're still around.
Currently alive.
Well,
I know, but that's in modern times. You said not in modern times, right? So like everybody's living till they're like 20.
Okay, so no, that is actually a misconception. That's because of birth rates. So a lot of babies died back then, so it brought down the life expectancy on people. That's part of the reason our life expectancy has gone up, is because birth rates, babies don't die as much anymore. So our life average, like lifespan average, is actually up now because of the babies. But back then, I mean, you're more likely to die from like bandits and shit like that and dysentery, but you were still like, as long as you lived a relatively normal life, you were gonna live into your 60s. As long as you were relatively normal, you know,
and not an extremist religious leader.
nice.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's definitely a target on your back when that happens, but like I said, if you make it a generation or two, that town's yours. You might be like 50 to 60 almost, but that's your town. you gotta breed out the non-believers.
So what did the text say?
I mean,
Right.
you can really just go down any kind of rabbit hole you want with that. You could take a current religion, like, and subsect it. Like, I mean, I don't want to make an enemy out of a certain group of people that may have had this happen to them, but you know, there's a certain group of people in the Midwest that may have had this happen to them, and let's give it like the early 18, late 1700s, you know. Oh, but you could take a current thriving religion and just change it just slightly, you know, make yourself the new messiah. And who this is directed at, they know who they are. This stuff works for a reason. You know, it's been played out before.
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and then, you know, again, a couple generations later, you might not be around anymore, but your descendants start a whole even bigger town in another state. Or country.
Or country.
Expansion.
Nice.
I got a question in regards to our Star Wars characters. Well, I guess mainly Faldu. So after, what do you think? Faldu's retired, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is Faldu doing in that time, right? Has he become like a medic, or is he like a tinkerer? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of? Is he working on robots?
Well, I was never able to get into my Star Wars account, so I'm gonna have to figure that out eventually. But I think he was a consular and a scholar, which means that he was leaning more towards medic initially, and then he went into book learning. So I honestly
Be a librarian.
I honestly do think he either starts teaching at a school, or he becomes a librarian, or maybe I don't know, like something along those lines. Maybe he joins maybe he says fuck it and like, I'm gonna live underneath the radar and joins the Empire as their custodian. I don't know.
Records keeper.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be something along those lines. Like, it's not gonna be something like crazy big. Like, he doesn't want to be like, he's gonna very much do like an Obi-Wan. Like, we're gonna live under the radar, you know, just a little bit closer to, you know, like live in plain sight, you know.
Yeah. Sick.
Yeah, I think that's the way he goes. Because all of his medical prowess would have been using the Force to heal.
Right.
And if he has to kind of hide that, like, he would still understand, like, you know, ooh, I got a boo boo. Let me get you some butterfly sticks.
Band-Aid.
Yeah. You know.
Metagel.
You know. Something like that.
Did you take a bath in Bacta? That's what you're gonna want to do.
Everyone's doing
drink
it these days.
Go,
so we can still
go,
understand
drink,
that
drink. Go.
100%. That's what would have happened.
Drink now. Big drink, big.
Yeah, I think that because of that, though, he would go in more in a scholarly route. Maybe he like teaches medicine somewhere, you know, just to keep it within.
Well, see,
brand.
that's where I have a problem, because like he's teaching people. He's like,
So usually to heal this, you just look at it and concentrate.
No, he would.
that's all he knows.
Well,
No,
it's
he's-
gonna take a couple years, you know.
That's totally a market for people like that, though.
There's
Sit,
100%.
focus.
He's like a
becomes
yoga.
cult leader.
Yeah, like a yoga instructor.
Is there a
like,
doctor in the house? I snapped my ankle. Yeah, I got it. All good. You got it.
We call it the secret. Faldu heal insides. Hard. Faldu manifest non-broken bones.
He doesn't become a medical doctor. He becomes a therapist.
Yeah.
Don't make me do it. I will do it.
Spiritual.
Why you do that? How make feel? We have tests for you. You take tests. We tell you what do.
What you see here?
It's just ink block. I spill ink. If you see something, use psychosis.
Oh man. Yeah, I think that that's somewhere in that field of thought.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely hiding in plain sight. He's not trying to like go out to the outskirts. He doesn't want to live on a backwater planet by any means. He still
That's
wants
good.
some civilization.
Mm-hmm.
So like, so I'm gonna give away a little bit of the intro. It's nothing crazy.
Nice.
I've got my ears plugged. Get it?
I don't
Because I
get it.
have in-ears in.
No, I need you to explain it
mouse
further.
die?
It's because I got in-ears in.
I think it did. I think my mouse did definitely.
Oh, thank you, Jacob.
Did your mouse die?
Yeah, it did. I have to charge it real quick. I got a new wireless. I got that wireless mouse for Christmas, and you just plug it in the front. Now it's a wired mouse.
Whoa,
I was about to be like,
technology.
how quickly does your battery charge? Hey, I gotta charge this real quick. Yeah, give me like 2 seconds.
Yeah, like honestly, like great design, Corsair. Great design. You just literally unplug it from the front, and then you're good to go. Anyway,
real quick, Josh, give me a primary color.
A primary color. There's
Yeah.
not that many options.
There's not
What
that
to
many
choose? Let me roll for it. If I roll a number, I'll give you an answer. Red.
options. Awesome. Alex, same thing.
I already took red, asshole.
I don't know what the primary colors are.
Blue and yellow are your other choices.
Let's do blue.
Awesome. Last question for both of you. Give me a number between 1 and 10.
Oh my god. I'm gonna roll for it too.
Actually, I'm gonna do the same, but on a D10.
Why choose a random number when you have a random number choose you? 8. Red.
Perfect.
Red 8. Alright, now give me a letter. Alright, now tell me a type of fabric.
Mine 5.
Alright.
5.
I'm not going anywhere with this. I just wanted to see how many orders you would follow.
Perfect. No, I was picking colors for the intro to our one shot.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm sure James will
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Anyway, you were saying, Alex, you're about to give away.
You're
really
about to
big
give away
spoilers.
spoilers, but now we're just coming up with random numbers instead. Hi, welcome to the
really-
odd number vortex.
It's not really spoilers, right? Like, so I think this is gonna take place, at least the beginning of it anyway, on Corellia.
I
So
don't-
like,
I don't know what any
kind
of
of
this
dingy
means.
port town.
Okay.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Also in that Solo movie, there's a couple other times I think they go to Corellia and other stuff, but mainly you see it in live action Solo. I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Don't you go to Corellia at some point in Fallen Order? Isn't that like the very beginning, or is that a different planet?
No, it's a different planet. It's just like a junkyard planet essentially.
Why did I feel like that was Corellia? Weird.
At
Anyway,
least-
go ahead.
Unless I'm misremembering it.
No, you're probably right. I haven't played that game in a minute.
Now I'm curious.
Curiosity grows.
I literally Googled starting planet and they're like Dathomir. I'm like, you did not start on Dathomir.
That's where everyone wants you to go, and they want you to just like slog through it to get the lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Which I did that for one playthrough years ago, and or I guess it would have been years ago, and it wasn't fun. It was not fun. at all.
It's Braca, that's what it is.
Braca, okay.
So I'm trying to write like I've gotten most of the stuff of like what's happened. I think this one's gonna take place 3 or 4 years after the ending of the first one. So it's been a little bit. Mainly giving like, because I know with you wanting to retire Toby and then Sligor obviously not being here,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, they're dead for sure.
Nice.
with the time, and also honestly, with the time frame this is going to be set in, it makes sense for them to just be dead.
And Toby's been actively reaching out, telling people about the Force.
I literally wrote that in there. I was like, you just got too loud one day.
Yeah.
you said the wrong shit to the wrong person
Yeah.
again, and it drew too much attention.
Too optimistic in the whole situation.
Right. You refuse to give up, not necessarily give up hope, but be less ecstatic about it.
Yeah.
I also, because you guys mentioned, like, especially at the end of the last one, you're like, let's go find some more people. Like, let's, do this whole thing. Like, you guys were young hopeful Jedi. Like, we're going to start it up again and we're going to take it to the Empire. And very much so that has just been blown up in your face multiple times. Like, you guys would find a bunch of people, and then I think I wrote Sligor was the first to go on this one. Like, done in by the rage, right? And that led to a bunch of your Padawans essentially dying as well. So you're like, the first time you're like, let's restart the Jedi Order, and then Sligor dies, and you're like, let's restart the Jedi Order, and then Toby dies, and you're like, the state that Faldu's in at this point is just like persistence, just like under the radar. Like, I just gotta, at this point, like, I'm done with this shit. All the experiments have stopped. Because you're like, oh, I'm taking these lightsabers I want to try to purify the crystals. All that kind of shit. Like, all that shit's come to a complete halt. You don't even fuck around with that shit anymore. Because you're like, look at what it's got me. Look at what it's got other people. Like, all these Padawans you guys have had are all gone and dead. Gone, I should say gone and or dead, because I say some of them left of their own volition. After seeing Toby die, but... most of them are also you feel responsible for that. You feel responsible for getting them killed.
It feels.
So it's not a good time.
Nice.
Are you sure it's not the best time?
No, definitely not the best time.
So it's the worst of times.
Mm-hmm. You got it.
Nice.
What's the best of time?
I'm actually like really excited to get back into this. The Star Wars campaign just always feels so good to play.
One shots are fun, but I'm happy to invest into a player again, or a player character. I mean,
right? Yeah, like I think 4 episodes is perfect at the beginning, middle, end.
You haven't been investing in us. Yeah, you're right.
I did learn something today that I literally can't have a conversation and try to edit video whatsoever. So that's fun. But that's yeah. I've been looking at these classes. No, I definitely. I don't know. I'm thinking right now engineer and scout, somewhere between those two.
What was Toby? Toby was
what? His mostly operative, and I forget what I dipped into to get some force sensitive. Operative.
Yeah, if James makes the robot, then you two will definitely know each other and like
Yeah.
be like a thing.
Yeah.
That'll just be easier for introductions. But yeah, I'm excited. I feel like the like end of the first session and the end of the last session, because those are what I have right now, are like gonna hit. Or they're gonna hit real nice. I think I have a good kicking off point and an ending so far, in my opinion.
In my modest opinion.
That's cool.
No, this is gonna be a lot of fun.
And I gotta say, this has been more fun. Like, our first Star Wars campaign was fun to write, right? Because it was like pure power fantasy.
Right.
But this has been fun to write because of the now being this is gonna be a sequel to a previous stream. So it's like, oh, we have an established kind of like understanding of at least this one character and like past events that have gone on and all that kind of stuff. So it's been very nice.
That's cool. I like it. I want to dive in. Okay. I'm just trying to think what kind of character I want to play in there. I really want to know what James is going to do, so I can complement it. How do you think you're gonna play Faldu this time around?
Well, we talked a little bit about this when we first started planning this stream, and I think that he's going to play a little bit similar to Josiah, but a little angrier, like a little more bitter. Whereas Josiah is a little bit like wandery right now. Faldu is just, well, he's just bitter, you know.
He's broken.
Yeah, he's not looking. He's not looking for vengeance. He's not looking for anything. He's just like, you know, Faldu scholar now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's just it. So like, if for any reason you guys played like 2 Force sensitives and came up to him, he'd be like, no, stop, Faldu scholar. You know what I mean?
Right. That's absolutely the tone I'm going for with him too. It's like this is somebody who has unfortunately been subjugated by the Empire,
Right.
like in the most brutal way possible by watching their friends and chosen family die, like countless times at this point. So it's like, okay, like at what point do you say that's enough? That's it. Like, I fold. The cards are on the table. Like I'm done. I'm done with this. Like.
Yeah, and that's how I plan to play him. Like I feel like he's very much just done. Ooh, excuse me.
In the first session, we're gonna fight 40 jackrabbits.
I've been breeding them in free time.
For training purposes.
For unlucky day that Padawans find me, jackrabs.
First thing you teach your Padawans is to kill.
We do it we do it High Republic style.
I definitely gave you guys that, like, so like as I remember as Master Verk or whatever, I was like, he just looks at you all like disappointingly, like you just slaughtered this army, like this small family of rabbits. He's like, you could have just chased them off. But you guys are like, oh hell yeah,
Power gamers. It's great.
I remember feeling like that afterwards, of being like,
Wait a
"But
minute.
you told us to power game." Like we made those ridiculous characters, and then I remember when you were like, "You could just run them off," just being like, "But why did I make this power character?"
That's my favorite part about the Star Wars stuff, is giving you that is Star Wars, is the choice.
Right.
Do I fucking kill this guy, or do I just forgive him and send him on the road? And I literally, that's the first thing I do, is like, do you kill 20 something rabbits, or do you just let them all go? Like, you guys are like,
I kill all of them.
Today's your last day, Bugs Bunny.
You're going down, rabbit. Put you back in your hole.
Yeah, well, not even. Yeah, that was very funny.
Oh god. There's gotta be a good font in here for this. Jesus Christ.
There's no such thing.
I love designing stuff. I love going through and like picking out like colors for it and finding the right pictures to do like manipulation with, and like the whole process. I love it until you get to typography. Typography drives me up a wall because it just feels 90% of the time it feels like it'd be easier just to make your own typeset, even though that'd be way harder to do for every project. It just feels like it'd be so much easier. Just be like, you know what? I know exactly how I want this to look. I'll just make my own stuff.
Then you get to the letter E and F. You're like, this is taking a minute.
This is taking a minute.
The first 3 or 4 letters were nothing. And I've been working on the number 3 for an hour and a half. I don't even think I'm going to use it.
Frustrating.
Then you find one where like half the characters, or like even 20 characters, look good, but that's like the one letter, it just throws it off. It's like, wow, that sucks.
And it's always a vowel.
Right.
It's
It's
always
like-
a vowel.
It's like you got a nice bowl of soup and somebody puts M&Ms in it. Like, they're both good, but why aren't they here together?
Not together.
That's what I've always wanted in my chicken noodle soup. M&Ms.
Oh, so with that
Little
dumb
sweet, little
analogy,
salt.
with that dumb analogy out of the way, and 1 hour already streamed, I think we're gonna GTFO.
Yeah.
So thank you to
That works
those
for
who
me.
have just chatted with us. I'm all hyped.
How
all
much
over
work
again.
got done?
Not any. I didn't do it even a little bit.
I've been getting work done this entire time.
No, I got.
I think I typed like 4 words.
I got a couple things done on the other screen. I was thinking about like streaming. I was like, oh, all my stuff's like NDA for my players.
Yeah. That's the
Like,
that's the tough part.
Everything I got to work on, I can't share.
Well, that's what I was curious what you were going to do.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know
I
what
thought
mean?
I thought I'd be able to skim through some podcast stuff, but that's impossible. I almost entirely
Dude.
listen to that.
Do you guys remember the full name for Chad? Like
Oh,
Chad
I mean, it's on
Chadwick.
stream. I mean, Chaddington the
Like
third.
Chadwick something. I think I thought.
Chadwick.
Chad-
'Cause there was
Chaddington the
Chad
third.
wasn't actually their name. It was like
Chadwick.
like Chad was for short.
Right.
Yeah.
The third. I mean,
Chad.
it's in the
Chadwick
VOD.
Chaddington.
That's all I can say.
I'm gonna message them.
There you go.
TVA. That's what I'm gonna put there. TVA.
You're gonna message Mike and he's gonna reply, oh, I don't know.
That's exactly what's happening.
Just pulling it out.
And then it was Orville Viscus.
Yeah, Orville Viscus.
I'm gonna be honest, Josh. I don't remember your character's name at all.
Professor Patterson.
Yeah. Professor
was
Patterson.
Pat- You know, I feel bad because like one of my best friends
Is a professor.
No, one of his last name growing up was Patterson.
Nice. I really wanted professor, and I was like, I don't know, alliteration name, go.
I mean, it worked, except for the fact that I didn't remember it. But my character, you know, was estranged from you, so it makes sense.
It does make sense. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't even remember my character's name. Just Stormy. Castile.
Oh.
Castile. Skywalker. Oh god, there's a Wednesday. Muron, that's what it was. There we go.
Muron. Stormy. You said there was a whole story behind Stormy. Was that like a... Was there actually a whole story, or was that just your character? Like, there's more to it. Did Jacob
you
think
know,
it through? You just figured Castile did.
No, I did think it through in the moment, but you know when you do something and then you don't write it down?
Yeah, my whole life.
Yeah, it was definitely there was the idea that if I remember, there's a vague thought in my head, right, of Stormy in high school getting hit by lightning, and that's about as far as it goes.
And it was at that exact moment that your love for coffee began.
Yeah, he had coffee beans. He was eating like those chocolate covered espresso beans, you know. The lightning just turned it into coffee in his body.
My favorite part was when you brewed some coffee in the palm of your hand, like in your fist.
Someone had to do it.
Hot, clammy hands, crushing the beans. All right, we outie. Roll the clip. Peace. You guys both clip.